Okay, so now we'll actually do some iGPU testing. So this here has the Intel Arc graphics. The 185H has the highest level of Intel Arc graphics. You can see here we're in Baldur's Gate. Our settings are pretty reasonable actually. So we're on just medium across the board at 1200p. So a little bit above what an ROG Ally would do, a little bit below what a Legion Go would do. And we're at quality FSR, not really that much FSR. And you can see they're really good performance actually. 52 FPS. This is not an easy to run game. People may think that it is, but it's not. 50 on average. We'll move around here. Right, really good performance here in Baldur's Gate. Actually, quite good. Pulling a lot of watts to get there, 55 watts on the APU, but that's fine. Okay, let's do some iGPU testing now at performance mode. So turbo mode or whatever. So we're going to a little more wattage to the iGPU there. This is 1200p, and we're on medium, just medium across the board, and just quality FSR. This is actually very good performance, wow. Yeah, so you can see here that the 185H iGPU is performing very well. It's such a huge upgrade from the, whatever Intel had before. And this is easily outperforming the 125H, which was still good, but this is performing better. Come out here. You can see that it is able to pull more watts here on performance mode than balance mode. Doesn't make a huge difference there if you drop it. So, we're at like 40 here, pulling a ton of watts there. 45, 35. We'll go back to that balance mode here. You'll watch this drop down. Right? Dropped 20 watts off of that. It didn't really impact performance, right? Just a little bit. But anyways, moral of the story is it's doing very well. Obviously, if you throw it into performance mode, you're going to get more wattage in there, but it's clearly not making a huge difference. It's kind of peaking. So once you hit like 50 watts, it kind of peaks. So that's 1600p there, but we will throw in a little bit more scaling. So we'll throw on maybe performance. And to see how that goes. Should be around the same actually. Yeah, it's about the same, maybe a little bit lower, but yeah. So you can use the iGPU here on higher display resolutions, like 1600p. You're just going to need a little bit more scaling, but you can see it's performing just fine. I did test the Intel Core Ultra 125H in a dedicated video. Put the video in the description below. It did really well as well. This is more powerful though. The Intel Arc here is more powerful, and I can see that it's more powerful. Let's see here. So this is 1600p on medium with performance. Yeah. It's a little much, but you probably just throw it on 1200p. Still very playable though, right? You can see there. Yep, so obviously Baldur's Gate runs very, very well. Okay, now we'll do The Witcher 3. 1200p again. This time we're on medium. Again, just quality scaling. And you can see it's running fantastic. Right? Almost 60 actually. The lows here are actually really good too. And the game looks quite good. Actually, I want to turn off scaling. I just want native 1200p medium. Actually looks really good. Yeah, we're getting 45 FPS or so. That's quite good. This is iGPU. If you look at what the last generation of Intel graphics could do, the Xe graphics, they would not even be close to this. Like not even within the realm of this performance. Maybe a quarter of the performance, maybe something like that. There's no way you could run The Witcher on medium 1080 1200p. With this kind of performance, not by a mile on the older ones, so not quite, but I like this town here because it's actually very hard to run because there's things like fires, which will actually kill the performance a bit. Right. When you're in less demanding areas, like scenes like this, you'll go up above 60. You can see there, well above 60 actually, 63, 64. It's actually very low. Actually, and the wattage on the GPU is not that bad. Or APU, I guess I'd call it. It's not that bad. So. Okay, now we're gonna do another brutal game. This is Hogwarts Legacy. We're at 1200p, which is quality FSR, just the lightest, so you can't tell that it's on. And we're at medium low mix. So this is actually how I play on my Legion Go. And it's around the same performance as this, I'd say, the Legion Go. Or the ROG Ally, whichever I feel like using. Way above the Steam Deck, like it's not even comparable. It's vastly more performant than the Steam Deck. It's actually not pulling as many watts either, too. It's only pulling 40 again, which is interesting. 42. This can pull, yeah, there, it'll pull more from time to time, depending on what the CPU is doing. So the lows are really good too. 12 for the 0.1% lows, which may seem bad, but I mean, we're only coming from 40, so the split isn't bad. And the 1% lows are 27, which is quite good. And just quality scaling. It's doing very well, actually. So just the same thing, basically, XeSS. It's actually really good performance, realistically. And we're only pulling sub 50 watts there. And yeah, 45 FPS. I feel like this is running really well. Like this is gonna easily obliterate a Steam Deck in performance. So obviously you're going to get very, very playable performance here. You're looking at about 40 FPS, good lows too. You could throw it in, you know, more DLSS. You could throw on more FSR, or you could throw on low now with quality. I don't know if it'll make a huge difference. Yeah, a little bit. You get some dips there. Let's reset. That might have just been texture popping from changing the modes. Let's see now. But down to 23 watts, and it's like slideshow, 20 territory. Right. That's not bad, actually, to be honest. At 26 watts, it's actually not that bad, really. You'd want to use more scaling, but dang, that's actually better than I thought it would be at 30 watts. Sorry, I forgot to check. And is there any scaling? There's no scaling. Okay. Let's go no scaling. Just native. Oh wow, okay, that's actually pretty good. So like medium low mix, it's gonna get you like very playable performance on medium. Remember, games like Red Dead Redemption 2 play at 30 FPS on consoles. That's what I would equate this to in terms of like the speed of the game. You know, you can play them at 30 FPS as long as it's stable. If it's up and down all over the place, it's bad. Let's try balance though, see if we can get away with more. Yeah, there you go. Now it's at 45. This game's well optimized, so.
How far could you have gone?
Yeah, I would throw on some FSR. I mean, why play at 30, 31, 32 when you can play at 45? I consider the jump from 30 to 45 to be huge. 45 to 60, it makes a difference, but it's not as big as that initial 15 FPS over 30. You can really tell. It's just so much smoother, so. But look at that great performance just on quality FSR. Quality FSR at 1080p or 1200p, you can't really tell it's on. If you start cranking it up to performance, you'll start to get like artifacting in that, but it's actually really... Remember, this game runs at 30 FPS on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. There is no 60s, there is no 60 FPS, it doesn't exist. So right now, yeah, obviously we're not playing at the same, you know, graphical fidelity in that, but we're playing at 15 FPS, 50% more FPS than the Series X and the PS5 can achieve. Right? So, like I said, at lower resolution fidelity, but you can play at this FPS. Okay, let's do some Armored Core 6. We're at 1200p here. This game doesn't have any scaling, so it's just 1200p. And we're at medium. This game is pretty well optimized, so I don't foresee any issues here, and you can kind of see right here. Native 1200p gaming with no scaling on medium. You could turn it to low, and we can test that in a second, but I just want to see where we're at here. And again, running really good. running really well. Even though this is a fairly fast-paced game, I don't really have too much of an issue playing it with slightly lower FPS. I've been playing this on my Legion Go, actually quite a bit. Yeah, it's totally fine on the Legion Go, to be honest. And kind of suspect it's going to basically look the same. Yeah, it looks exactly the same. maybe the environment, I don't know. It looks the same. Whatever. It doesn't really make any difference. So on low, the game looks fantastic and huge jump in performance. So there's probably some type of effect going on somewhere that I can't see that makes it considered low instead of medium. But look at the performance jump. We're up at 54 now, right? 18 for the very lows, which is fine. I'd prefer it more, but it's not a big deal. 29 for the 1% lows, so I mean, that's not bad. Affiliation unknown. How about this affiliation? Yeah, so Armor Core runs amazing. It's a well-optimized game. I think medium was a little much. It was just the lows weren't good. Low is fantastic here. And the game looks great. Like, I'm looking at this. I can't really tell. I mean, yeah, I guess there's a little bit of lower textures or something in there. But you're not going to tell. Like, this game is also really fast-paced. Like, most of the time you're ripping around, so. Yep, fantastic.